Hi.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Do you have your tea, by the way?
My tea?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
my
watching your
Milo's
live
tea.
stream yesterday.
No tea today. I just
No
had
tea?
coffee this morning. I had coffee.
Oh yeah,
So,
because it's a different time. I
right.
remember in the US last time I was there, I ordered a tea and I actually did got the sweetened tea, and I didn't know.
How was that for you?
Well, at first I was confused and I was like, okay, they brought me iced tea, that's fine. And then I drank it and it tasted like sugar.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's not a subtle flavor.
I was so confused. I was so confused. And I was like, I ordered tea. And they're like, well, that's tea. And I was like, no, it's not.
You have to order hot tea or herbal tea.
Usually when
Yeah.
you're in Europe and you want a tea, they will give you a hot one.
Yeah, no hot
So
tea.
when you go to the
And
US, it's
don't
like, no.
assume that any restaurant's going to have. I mean, if you ask for hot tea, they may just not have it, or maybe they'll have like
But they will
one
look at
herbal
me
tea.
like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
What?
Not a lot
But
of tea
actually,
drinkers
you know,
over
when
here.
I ask, like, can I get some tea? And they're like, oh, you're British? And I'm like,
Do I sound? I don't know. They don't
do
know.
I sound British?
Yeah.
I probably don't. But anyway, yes.
Yeah.
So I
No,
just wanted to touch it.
if you get sweet tea in the South, it's so sweet. It's so ridiculously sweet too.
I just wanted to touch the topic because it really got me. I was like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I learned something today. But anyway, we
Yeah.
actually had a plan one day that I will come and visit.
Yeah, maybe
But
someday.
now we cannot.
No.
So
It's not
we're
a good
gonna
time.
have this. We're gonna have this.
Soon.
And today, guys, you're gonna learn from us both how to get sponsored.
How to get sponsored. That's a good topic.
It
We
is.
we talked in our other video about kind of how to go pro and how to go full time, but not everybody wants to go full time. Some people just want to get sponsored.
Yeah. So I have a couple of things that we want to like touch. But I want to start with my name is Lexie Janson, and you're gonna learn something today.
I might learn something today.
You might learn something today. Okay,
I'm glad to be
so,
here, Lexie.
Let's start with what really sponsorship is, because I think a lot of people have like different thinking about what it is. Like a lot of people are like, it's just free stuff.
That's why you want to get sponsored, right? Because you want free stuff.
Is it? Is it really?
Well, I mean, I think that I guess there's various reasons. A lot of people see that you get free stuff, which, as I'm sure we'll talk about, is not always true. Some people want it because they feel like it's like respect or cachet. It means they've made it. I think a lot of people want the free stuff. Why do people want to get sponsored? What do you think?
For me, sponsorship is a mutual deal. So it's not like you are getting free stuff. You have to kind of work for it. And I knew it since day one. I was sponsored since 2015, I think. Tattu, my first sponsor. And they still keep me for some reason. Weird. But anyway, it was never really like you get a contract when you are a sponsored pilot, and it tells you like you have to post that much on Instagram per month and that much on YouTube per month, and it's a work that you have to put in to actually get those things, and they actually monitor you to do it. So it's like
Yeah.
a job, not just like getting free stuff just for the sake of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think in any situation like that. You have to think not just what do I want, but what does the other person want? Because nobody gives away sponsorship stuff just because they just feel generous today. They want marketing generally. Sometimes they want feedback, but generally it's marketing. And so you have to, there has to be something in it for them to. So when did you first get noticed by Tattu, and how did they approach you?
Well, actually, I did approach them. I don't believe in I will one day get found on my couch. I usually reach out to everyone. And this is actually a thing. Like a lot of people are like, just sit there and wait. Like, really, no one's gonna find you there. So I did a couple of videos flying in the woods back in 2015. It was, behind trees and all around the trees. And back then it was something.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I was going for races. I was actually getting pretty good, I think. for the time being. And I was talking with Yuli FPV, and she was already sponsored by Tattu. I think she was in Next Blades back then. And she said like, oh, look, you have been on their website. They actually featured my video. And I was like, oh, and this is the right time to reach out.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, guys, how are you doing? And back then I didn't know how to reach out to a company. And I'm afraid to look at this email. Probably
Do you want to look at it? Do you want to find it and we can look at it?
Wait, that might be funny. But tell me about your first sponsorship or something.
While you don't think you're going to get away with it, get away though. My first sponsorship. So I was using. I think the first sponsorship I got was from a company called Red Rotor. I don't think they exist anymore. They made a frame that I was using. I had purchased the frame. I was using it. I think they were a small manufacturer. And they saw that someone out there was posting videos on YouTube using their product. And it was just like, he was just like, I had a broken part. And he was just like, yeah, I'll send you, some spare arms, which it was like, oh my God, such a big deal at the time. The first time I really got noticed with a video and started getting free stuff was when I did my flight controller roundup, which I just went through a whole bunch of flight controllers and talked about their specs and their comparisons, and people started noticing and wanting to send me product to get it included. Yeah. So I think one piece of advice for people who want to get sponsored is use the product, like the product. Basically, you need to already act like you're a sponsored pilot, because then they'll notice that, hey, you're using the product, you're promoting it. And then they'll be like, okay, well, this guy clearly could do the job.
Yeah, also, I think it's one of the biggest mistakes when you reach out to the companies that you don't know. Like, you're using only Tmotor stuff, but Emacs is messaging you like, hey, would you like to get a sponsorship? And you never used anything from Emacs, and you're like, yeah, why not? And it's like, you need to remember that it's also going to your personal brand. Like, it's going to Joshua Bardwell is using this, and then you get it and you don't like it and you're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? So it's going after your name, and sponsors know and see that you are changing sponsors a lot, which is also a thing. Like, I think in racing, everyone was telling me like, oh, you shouldn't be switching sponsors too. They will see it. Don't like it. Yeah.
I mean, when you have a certain following and you have a certain status, you have the flexibility to pick and choose your sponsors. For people who are starting out, maybe they don't have people reaching out to them. I definitely agree that if you're just like, I don't know, whoever wants to send me free stuff, I'll use it.
Exactly.
Why is a manufacturer they want someone who sincerely likes and is passionate about their product, So, I mean, you should find stuff that you like and want to use and that you use and then buy it. Unfortunately, you just have to and use it, and then don't sit on your couch and hope to get noticed, but then eventually maybe reach out to them. One of the things that I wonder about is like manufacturer, everybody's like, hey, will you send me free stuff? That's the gist of it. Can I get some stuff? Can I do a review on your product? How do you get noticed and stand out from that crowd?
I think the most important thing, personally, what I have seen is one, have a media kit in which you will show actually the work that you have done already, all your case studies of your past work if you did with someone, or maybe you just did a review of the product that you got by yourself and you want to just put stats in it. Why not? And just show that you are a professional. Because I used to work with one of the companies that's doing FPV as their social media, and we were getting a lot of messages like, hey, can I get your product for a sponsorship? And I'm going to this person's channel and it's like followers, and I'm like, okay, do you have a media kit? What's a media?
Yeah.
You could at least Google it before answering me.
Right.
You could Google it.
Yeah, what I'm here, the message that's coming out through this conversation is that it's very much like a job interview.
Yeah,
like the company,
it is.
You're kind of going to work for the company, and you need to approach it like a job interview. There has to be value in it for them, and you have to show the value and show that you can be professional. Now, you said this person has 55 followers. Big question. how many followers do you need before a vendor will take you seriously as like maybe you can get sponsored?
I
What do you
think
think?
300, like a threshold.
Okay.
That's my personal thinking, like how much, because you can do a lot of good job and you can be growing really fast, get some kind of a discount or like something to just share all around the place. And the company, if you do a really good job, they can also share your work on their own social media. So then you're gonna get this extra boost. That's one.
Right.
And two, if they really like your work, why wouldn't they work with you again? So just going to a company and being like, hey, could you send me this for a review is like, not really. But if you like go to them like, hey, I would like to collaborate on a project in which I would say like, I don't know, how to set up your radio master, or like, I don't know, custom splash screen and make like a video series on how to do stuff in there. If you go with an idea
That's
already,
really good.
that's really good.
That's a really good idea. I've not thought of that before, but that's a great idea. So many people will approach it just like, and people ask me sometimes, like, can I review your motor? Can I review your props? And I don't really, you'd have to ask the manufacturer, race day quads or get FPV. But if you just ask for free stuff, that's not as compelling as if you have an idea, because that idea shows them that you're not just out for free stuff, that you are interested, and it gives them an idea of what you're going to produce. And it creates accountability for you, that if you don't do it, then they can be like, well, we're not going to work with you. But if you do it, then you're building a relationship. That's a really great idea. That's how you stand out too. Because everybody who's emailing them is just saying, can I have free stuff? Can I have free stuff? And if you go, listen, I got this great idea for a video I want to
have
make.
this idea, here's my media kit, and you put a link to it, like with Bitly, so then you know if they clicked it.
That's really good. That's really good.
And if you add all of your social media there, put like the best of your work, introduce yourself in this media kit and stuff, it's there. It's awesome. And like there's a lot of media kits like on Pinterest and stuff. You can just do it.
Do you have a media kit?
I do have a media kit. I do. And I actually sell my old media kit on my website.
I was going to say, can people see your media kit so they know what's in a media kit?
The link will be on the description box. But yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's actually on sale right now. But anyway, it's just like a couple of pages in PDF that are basically showing the idea of how your media kit should look like, and it's actually specified for FPV.
Fantastic. I mean, that's the kind of thing like if you like, you can get a sample resume just so you see what people do. And once you see it, you're like, oh, I can do this. That's really cool.
Exactly. And it's really easy. You can do it in Photoshop. You can do it probably in Word or Google free. So it's also awesome. But it also makes you stand out because you have something else to show. And, when companies are asking like, hey, can you share your social media with us at least? Something, can you like...
Yeah.
show some will to actually work with us.
Right.
Some people are like, well, like I got a couple of times like a picture of links, and I'm like, you could at least write it so I don't have to like type it in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, make it as easy as possible.
I got those. Yeah, make it as easy and make it as compelling as possible. So actually a person who's like behind the phone or behind the screen wants to read, and don't go like overboard, like 200, 300 words in like max. If you want to go like full throttle. But usually I'm doing like 50 words, 100. Just.
This is really interesting to me because like when I think about getting sponsored, I think about it mostly pretty much only from the perspective of the YouTuber who wants to get sponsored. But you've got both sides. You've been a person asking for a sponsorship, but also you've been a person being asked for a sponsorship. So you really have the perspective on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, I was actually putting people ideas like, hey, do you have a media kit? Or hey, can you show us your past work? And I was getting answers like, everything's on my Instagram. And I'm like, well,
okay,
thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Exactly. It's like, I don't have time. And they get hundreds of those every day.
Right. That's the thing.
So imagine a person going through all those messages and, like, stand out.
But here's the upside. They get hundreds of requests a day maybe for sponsorship, but they're all super low effort. And so it actually isn't that hard to stand out if you know what to do.
I don't think it's hard.
Do you think it's true?
I don't think it's hard. I think to stand out, you don't really need money right now. So right now, maybe it's easy. Maybe after this video, a lot of companies will write to me like, you destroyed it.
No, but
you will get a message too, like, guys, don't.
They should want high quality submissions,
Yes,
right?
yes,
They should
yes,
want
of
high
course.
quality because they want marketing, and that's what they're after. Now, I wonder what are some definite sort of turnoffs for you as a person who is going to give out a sponsorship. You get maybe a submission, and you're like, okay, maybe I'll sponsor this person. You go check out their social media. You go check out maybe their Facebook posts. What kind of things would you be like, oh, no, forget it. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole?
I think I didn't like getting people who really didn't put any effort to even Google what I mean. That's one. And two, people who were like, I'm super awesome. I work with this and this company. You should totally work with me because I'm great. I'm like, okay, can you share some of your past work? Well, it's all on my Instagram. It's like, you really work with those companies? Because I'm working with companies, and trust me, they would not get this message from. It's like, no. So I think a lot of people are like, when you over exaggerate how awesome you are, it's like, you should show that you are awesome. You don't have to write about it. So whenever someone was writing how awesome they are, I was like, maybe not. Not like saying it in a mean way.
Right.
Usually when I was going to those accounts, they were like private or nothing. And like I was working with, let's say, Rolex, and I'm like, I have 200 followers and there's no Rolex in there.
Right.
Like,
right.
Did you?
So don't make stuff up. Tell the truth.
Yeah, don't make stuff up, because people will check it. If you are
Yeah.
on the list of people who are maybe getting the sponsorship, they're gonna check it. If you're trustworthy. If you're not, then why would I work with you?
Yeah. One of the things I've seen that sponsors are looking for, like I'm thinking specifically, Get FPV does this, is that there are people who are sponsored by them who are very active in their Facebook group, basically kind of acting like customer support agents light, you know?
I like those.
And they get sponsored stuff, and maybe they're sponsored not even because of their piloting. I mean, they're all pilots perhaps, but maybe that's not people think the only way to get sponsored is to just be an amazing pilot, and that's not true.
Not true.
So they're looking for...
Look at me.
Oh, stop. The flip side of that, though, is if you are an amazing pilot, but you're just like completely toxic all over the internet, they're not... I mean, maybe you could think of some brands that are a little edgier than other brands, but you got to be an overall positive.
I think it's a mix, because, for example, Heiko, my partner, he's really great racing pilot. We get actually a lot of sponsorship together, and he gets sponsorship for different reasons than I do. I get my sponsorships for being super active on social media per se, helping other people, being on Instagram, YouTube, and he gets for the trophies. He has a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I'm also helping him a little bit with the social media, but he gets sponsors for different reasons. And also we can get sponsors as a reviewer to get like an ongoing contract, probably with one company. Whenever I release, I will send you stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can get also sponsorships because you are acting like customer support. You really, and why not?
Right.
Totally deserve it. Why not? And people know you, so that's also a thing.
It seems like there's two types of sponsorships. One is where they want feedback on their products. They'll send you a product, you'll tell them about it. That's there. You don't need very many of those, like test pilot sponsorships. And the other is marketing. And there's some pilots who are so popular that they don't need to do any marketing. Just the fact that they use it will be marketing. But those are very rare too. And a pilot who is maybe a mid to mid top tier pilot who doesn't make any social media posts is just useless to a manufacturer. Whereas a pilot who is maybe a mid to low tier pilot who is super helpful online and makes a ton of social media posts and is really visible is actually super valuable. I mean, I think that's really encouraging because a lot of people think you have to be a great pilot, and it's just not true.
The marketing strategy is social media. And social media is social.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's social media. It's about people. It's about having contacts.
Yeah.
It's called YouTube, not MeTube.
Oh, cute. That's really nice. What about So when we talk about sponsorships, everybody thinks of getting free gear. So let's talk about that. What kind of sponsorships are there? Like, how much free gear do you get? And sometimes you don't even get free gear, do you? Sometimes a sponsorship is
That's
just like
true.
a discount code. What do you think of that?
I think it depends on, as I said, it has to be a mutual beneficial thing. So if you don't put that much value or sales in the company, then they maybe give you like a 10-20% discount. I think I have something like with Immersion RC. I get like a B2B store access. It's nice, but at
Yeah.
the same time, the shipping is awful. You have to buy like for a lot of money to make it actually reasonable. So there's those sponsors. There's also the sponsorship that give you like 10-20% discounts. I think a couple of companies have them, like Tmotor was saying that they have them.
Yeah.
There's like tiers of sponsorships actually in a company. So if you get to the first tier of like 10% off, then maybe in half a year they will you are doing a really good job and you will get to 50% off or like some kind of product. There's also the sponsorships that are given you limited amount of products like batteries or props or something like this. And there's the ones for super pro pilots that just get whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, even the super pro pilots, I think there's very few pilots out there who just get as many motors as they want, no questions asked. Right? Yeah.
I have a limitation.
Yeah. Do you want to say what it is, or do you rather keep that private?
I have a Tmotor. But Vivian is really nice, so I'm like, hey, I got first place in German championship.
Yeah.
I'm nice.
Can I have more motors, please?
Can I have more? So sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's no.
Yeah. Now, do you have that?
Sometimes
like,
it's a deal.
Is that explicit, or do they give you some motors and then you're like, can I have some more? And they're kind of like, nah. Or is it all spelled out?
I actually try to be friends with everyone, kinda. So it's not just like I'm messaging them just to get more stuff. I'm messaging them a lot about other stuff. So it's not like I'm just asking for more. So usually I don't get to know, but at the same time I'm not overdoing.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is it's a relationship.
Yeah. I believe
It's a relationship.
in relationship. How is it
Sure.
for you? Are you having a relationship
Well,
with who you are doing for?
I mean, I try to stay out of that side of it because I'm also a reviewer. So it's a tricky line for me because I have products with my name on it, but I also review products that compete with my products. And that was a decision I had to make when I made my first branded product. I was like, I got to figure out how to walk this line. And mostly I do it by, I make the product, I make a review video about the product, and then I never mention it again. Like, because I don't want people to think that I'm being unfair to other people's reviews. So I try and stay engaged with my products, but I also try not to, review them too much. As far as getting products for sponsorships, I mean, I don't have any sponsorships per se. But I get products for review, which is similar to like a lot of people who maybe they don't want an ongoing sponsorship with Tmotor or whatever, but they just want to be able to get products for their YouTube channel. I wonder, how is that different? Being like a sponsored racer who Tmotor gives you motors versus I have a YouTube channel and I just want stuff to review.
I'm in the both worlds in this, so I think the difference is when you are in a sponsored group. So you are the sponsored pilot and you have the contract, you really have to like go after it. So it's like an ongoing relationship all the time, and you can send them like feedback like, hey guys, something batch or I don't know what. So it's a different relationship. This is not really a sponsorship. This is like one-time deal.
Yeah.
It's like working on contract.
Yeah. It's weird because the company sends you a product to review and you have an obligation to your viewers to do a fair review of the product. But especially if there's an ongoing relationship with the company, it can get a little weird. Where you want to be honest with the customer, with the viewers, but at the same time, you care about the success of the company, and that's a little tricky, I think.
I had a problem with Beta FPV X95, really big. The review is going for 2 months, but they are really cool, and I told them that, guys, we can repair it, and I will just make a review in parts, and I will say what happened.
Yeah.
Or I will leave it as it is with the result as it is now. And they were actually pretty cool because they didn't want, they said like, it's up to me, but they want to know what happened. So they will send me like spare parts and see what happened. They checked my DVR and everything. And that was really cool because they actually went after it to see what was wrong. But at the same time, there are companies that are like getting mad at you because you bad. And with Beta FPV, let's just call them because the review is up. They were really cool with me saying what was wrong. And they haven't said, if you do it, we will never like you again. I actually had one company that did it. They were like, if you will do something wrong, we won't like you. Or like, I got an email like, can you make a positive review about our product? And I was,
I don't know. Did you make a good product?
yeah, exactly. It's like, some companies are not fair.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's totally a thing as well, and you need to remember that, and you need to keep yourself as your integrity. That's one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, even when you're small and it feels like it can feel like that the manufacturer can put a lot of pressure on you. If you're a small channel and someone sends you a $300 drone or a $500 3D printer, that's a lot of money to anybody. And you can get a lot of value out of that. Never mind the fact that you get to keep the product. That's nice. But the value you get for your channel, that you're creating content that can get you viewers, that's the real value. And having that integrity that your viewers trust you is the most important thing. And it's just not worth selling that out. My policy with problems with products is that if I think that people who are buying the product are experiencing the problem, then I feel like I have an obligation to put it in the review. Exactly. So if I have a product and it's a pre-release product and there's something bad with it, I'll tell the manufacturer about it and they can go fix it. There's no reason to put them on blast because no one has the product anyway. But if I get a product and it's already for sale and it has some defect, then I feel like I'm obligated. And I'll tell the manufacturer too, but I'm not going to, and they always come back and they say, oh yeah, that's going to be fixed in the next firmware update. And I'm like, yeah, but people got to know about it. Yeah.
Some companies are really not fair. Did you have any bad experiences that you want to share?
I mean, I'm certainly not going to name names, but there are definitely some companies. Here's what I'll say. There are some companies who are very, very proud of their products and feel that they're the best. And if you don't say that they're the best, they will take it very personally. There are also times when I have criticized a product incorrectly and been told, hey, that wasn't right. And then I have to go out put out a correction. So that doesn't feel good. There are times when I've criticized a product incorrectly and the company just says, thank you for the review. And I find out later that I screwed up and they were just like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. And I feel really bad about those. I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen too often. It really just motivates me to try to get the reviews right as much as I can. I know. Yeah. I mean, but people might think that companies just want positive reviews and shilling. And I mean, I'm sure that they would rather it be a positive review, but most of the companies I work with seem to respect that the integrity of the reviewer is an important part of the product process. However, I hear from smaller reviewers who say, they'll say, okay, I will name one name. When I get products from Banggood, they say, do you want this product? I say, yeah, or nah. And if I say yeah, then I put out the review and I never hear about it again. But I've heard from many other people who are smaller reviewers, and they say, I did a bad review of a Banggood product, and now they won't talk to me. So it may not be the same for me as it is for somebody with less subs and less visibility.
I actually do work with Banggood.
Yeah, I do too. They're fine.
You're fine. They're okay. You just say yeah, nah.
Yeah.
They're
Did
pretty
they ever
nice.
Did they ever pressure you about a negative review?
No, they don't. They actually once even put my negative review on their website.
Did they know it was negative?
I
Did they
don't
just like,
know.
yeah, great. Any coverage is good
Lexie did the
coverage.
video. Woo!
Yeah.
And I was
All
just
right.
looking at it like, okay, I
Yeah.
will not tell them.
Yeah.
But no, they're usually fine. They usually pressure me like, hey, can you do it by this day? And
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it because when the first lockdown happened, I just stopped making anything. And then they were like, 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in lockdown. I cannot
Yeah.
do it because I'm in. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
damn it, fine. So it wasn't bad. They never really pressure me.
Okay. Well,
Getting
15,000 subs.
best
You're
people.
above the pressure threshold for Banggood. How do you get it? We've been talking about you get in contact with them, you send them your media kit. Who do you send? Who do you contact? How do you find an email address or a? I mean, sometimes they're very visible. Sometimes there's a very visible face for the company, but a lot of times no.
Yeah, sometimes it's a person that's just really visible on the group that works there, and you can just message them on Messenger.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can message a company on Instagram, and they will just send it to a good person. Sometimes I find email. This is gonna be sounding bad, but I stalk people. Like I know that this works in the company, or I write the company name in LinkedIn, and then I search for people who are working in
Nice.
marketing. And then if their email is that, then good. If not, you need to Google them.
Yeah.
So I did this with like bigger companies, like I think I did it with oh my god, who was it? I don't remember. But like bigger companies that are not connected with FPV per se, I'm doing it like this. I'm totally saying it, and it sounds really creepy, like I'm stalking people.
No, but I mean that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With some companies, I got like contact from someone else. I got contacted with Insta360 by Reveal Rabbit. He's doing reviews of drones, but camera drones. And German reviewer. He's pretty popular actually. We became friends and contacted me with them. So that was also getting emails from someone else. So you can ask people like, hey, do you have an email from someone? And then they ask if they can share this email. And that's it. You can message a company on Facebook as well, or find their sales or hello at
Yeah.
whatevercompany.com.
It's cool with the FPV companies because a lot of these companies, like they just have a very like, for example, Race Day Quads. Tyler Brennan is just all over the Race Day Quads Facebook group, and I don't know. I mean, he obviously takes my messages, but he seems like very in touch with the social media. Pyrodrone. I imagine if you message Serge on Facebook, he'll probably answer you. He just seems like that kind of guy. I've reached out to other companies trying to, that I was interested in doing a partnership with, usually non-FPV companies, and like a Pelican case, like T, yeah. I wanted to do a Pelican case video once, and I was like, that's so expensive though. And I tried to reach out to Pelican, and I didn't hear back from him, so I wasn't stalking the right person.
Like
Yeah.
70% will never answer you. Like now I'm about to make my new studio, so I have a better background. And I actually messaged a couple of manufacturers that do furniture.
Yeah. Hey,
One
it's
of
worth
them
a
actually
try.
answered. It's worth a try. I mean, you can try it before buying
Yeah.
other stuff. And some of their things, I'm like, ooh, that's cool. So I'll just message them and be like, hey, you will be in every single one of my videos made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I come with an idea of like, hey, I will be doing a vlog of building my studio tour. Then you will be in every single one of my videos. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So you come with a full idea and like, hey, here's my media kit. I was already working with, I don't know, SWAT.
Did you get it?
I'm
Did they
waiting
say
for
yes?
the answer. I got one. I will send you to the marketing manager. So
Oh,
they
okay.
did answer. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'll let you know.
Now, once you, I have this thing I do where I go, oh, that's an interesting product. I wonder if they'll send it to me. And then the minute they say yes, I'm like, oh my God, now I have to make a video. And I'm like, if suddenly it doesn't feel like Christmas Day anymore. It feels like work. Like, are
Yes,
there
it is work.
Right. Are there sponsorships where it's not worth it? where you're just like, oh, this is too much. I thought it was gonna, because it's a transaction, right? Let's say you get a $200 product or a $500 product. Now you're going to put in some work for that. It has to be worth it, right?
Some companies actually are like, I will give you a product for a review for an affiliate link. After like some threshold, and you don't have to have a lot of subscribers for it. You can ask for money.
Yeah.
For stuff. Like I think after 1,000 you have to ask.
Like a paid review?
Yeah, something like this.
Or
and
a paid showcase?
Pay for your time, not to pay for positive rate, but for your time.
That's tricky.
It is tricky, but at the same time, I had a couple of companies messaging me, and I was like, okay, but I have like a standard fee, because I was like, this will not be worth it, so I went with my fee, and they were like, oh, this is too much, and I'm like, making a video about your product, around 8 hours of work.
Yeah.
Would you work for?
No, right. It's tricky because if you're getting paid to do a review, it's hard to convince people that you're impartial. And if you get paid to do a review, even if I felt like I could be impartial, and maybe I feel like I could, if I was a company who paid hundreds or maybe more for a video, I wouldn't want the video to be full of negative stuff. I'd be like, what did I pay you for? Why did I buy this? And I don't want to put a company in that position. So, I mean, the place I draw the line is I take product, because like, okay, send me product, fine. You know, especially because sometimes it's pre-release stuff and the only way to get it is to have them send it to you. And I feel like that's okay. But as far as getting like just paid to do a review, to me, that feels like it's over the line, just personally. You obviously disclose, right? Anytime it's paid, you disclose.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to do that. I don't know what the law is. Yeah.
Yes, I have one video sponsored by Audible.
Yeah. Oh well, no, like sponsored by Audible is no big deal. That's no big deal. I'm thinking about more like if Tmotor came to me and said we're going to give you $500.
I actually don't take money from FPV companies.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Me neither. Okay. So you were talking about like just third-party sponsorships, ad reads and stuff. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or like if like I had the video made with Dreamcase, that was also a paid one, but it was just to make a video. It wasn't like say that our product is awesome, and it was a third-party thing. Yeah. So I
my
was
tea sponsorship.
Okay. Yeah, like your tea sponsorship.
People who haven't seen people who didn't see my live stream. When this video comes out, there will be people watching your channel who didn't see my live stream and have no idea what we're joking about.
I will link it
with the tea sponsorship.
Yeah, with the tea sponsorship. It's a really good one.
No, I do think if you're going to take sponsorships, taking them from companies outside your field is the best way to avoid a conflict of interest. So you do an Audible sponsorship or a Raid Shadow Legends ad read. There's no conflict of interest there. You're just paying the bills. But I think we agree that taking a sponsorship from a FPV company, that would be probably people wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. To do a review. Yeah.
If you guys want to send me flowers for a good review, cool. Send me chocolates. Cool.
Yeah.
I actually got once flowers from one company because they liked my review. Said that it was really pretty.
Oh.
I was like, oh.
When my son was born, I got a little baby kit from one of the vendors. You know, with like a onesie and a little rattle.
That's so
It was really sweet.
But those things are cool.
It was really sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't affect my review of their products, but it was very sweet.
Yes. But anyway, let's talk about the numbers. And it's a trigger. Because usually people are like, how many numbers do I need to have to actually start sponsorship? When did you start to ask for stuff for?
I reached I just sat on the couch. Like I said, this one company, I think it helped that this company was a small company. And so I was one of the only visible pilots who was using their product, and they were like, we gotta help this guy out. So maybe that's a tip. If you're going to fly Tmotor motors, there's a zillion people doing it, so why should they notice you? But I sort of fell backwards into a position where people were offering me stuff. And like I said, my first video was that flight controller roundup. And there were companies that were not included for whatever reason. And they were like, hey, they saw that the video was getting views and they wanted to be in it. And if you think about it, if you've got a video and it's getting 1,000 views or 5,000 or 10,000 or more views, how much does it cost a company to send you a flight controller? Cost them like $20, $25, maybe their cost. You know, so it's a very small investment. Whereas something like a GoPro or a ready-to-fly quad is going to be a little more expensive. As far as asking, I mean, I still seldom ask. I mostly just get offers, but I don't think that's a strategy that works for most people because I'm a little bit bigger. I don't think I ever really asked. I never felt good asking. I was just wanted to make. I wanted to just make content, and I was never that interested in product reviews to begin with, though, because I wanted to make tutorial content. So maybe that's a tip too. Is, you know, product reviews are kind of a dime a dozen, but tutorials and instructions that help people with problems, that's a value that's going to bring people to your video.
Yeah, it also depends what people come for your content for. Are they coming for information, entertainment, or whatever other things? You don't have to do reviews to actually get sponsored.
Like, look at Bot Grinder.
Yeah, he's doing entertainment full time.
I pick on him a lot. I pick on him a lot because he kind of mystifies me. His success is so different from my success. Yeah. And he deserves every bit of it. I pick on him because he intrigues me, but not because I don't want people to think I'm just shitting on him. But like, he does product reviews and I'm like, that is so different from how I review products, but he speaks to his audience and is really successful. So people come to different people for different reasons.
Yeah, of course. And you have to speak to your audience always.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think my audience comes to me for super detailed reviews. They go to you.
Yeah.
My people maybe go for some pretty shots and more or less info about the product.
Yeah. Everybody has a different voice and a different audience.
Yeah.
And you have to speak to that. For sure.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, you don't need a lot of this audience to get sponsored or to get products for reviews. You just need to have a good way to go after it. Yeah.
I have a question.
Go.
What is the biggest mistake you ever made with regards to a sponsorship or getting sponsored? I know mine. I want to hear yours. I'll tell you mine if you want. But
I do. But mine.
Yeah, what's yours?
I actually have this question on my when you were first. Damn it. I didn't read the contract with one company, and one company was really, they don't exist anymore. And I'm not sad about it because they really used my image, and it was like my second sponsor, and I wasn't really experienced in it. But they were like releasing products with my name on it without my consent or anything like this. And it was pretty bad. They released products with my name. I haven't even got a product from them even once. I got some later, and they were really passive-aggressive about it. They were saying like, oh, we were having such a shortage and so on. I sent it to you from my personal desk and everything. Like, am I supposed to feel bad about it? Like, this is not how sponsorships should look like. If you feel bad in a sponsorship, you should totally say no to it. Just saying.
Yeah.
You should not. You should always read the contract.
Yeah.
Truthfully. And I wrote a couple, so trust me, you should read them.
A lot of times there isn't a contract, is there? It's just kind of, they just send you some stuff and you do a review. But if you're going to do like a licensed product, which I think is what you're talking about, they're using your name, they're using your picture, that kind of stuff, definitely, you can definitely, I mean, hopefully if you were to say, well, I'm not happy with this, they would respect it, but you can't assume that. And people end up in bad situations.
That was my biggest mistake. And, thankfully, this company doesn't exist anymore, and probably will not find information about it. So
screw them.
But that was my biggest mistake, and this is something like everyone should remember.
Okay.
What was yours?
So mine was similar. It wasn't exactly. I didn't read the. There was a company that was doing a partnership. It was a sponsor of DRL, and it was a company that makes coffee shots, which is it's like a little pre-made shot of coffee, like an energy drink, I guess. I don't know. That was the problem. So I heard coffee, and I thought, okay, this could be, I don't usually do like just commercials and stuff, but I thought I could have some fun with this. I could make a little money. I wrote a whole pitch about a video I was going to make about making coffee. Like, you get up in the morning, you're going to go fly, your coffee grinder is broken, and then you use a drone. You use the props and the motors. And I'm like, I'm going to have a great big tub of coffee beans, and I'm going to use the prop to grind. I'm not really going to do it, but I'm going to pretend to grind the coffee and then drink the coffee and go fly. And they were like, thank you. We don't make coffee beans. We make coffee shots. And I was like, I could come up with another proposal for you. And they were like, no, thank you. They didn't answer. They didn't reply. So I pitched the wrong product.
Yeah, you need to read about what products you are actually about to endorse. This is also a thing. Yeah, always check.
I put so much thought into the pitch. It was a pitch for the totally wrong product.
I was actually getting on my Instagram like, hey, would you like to sponsor me? And I'm like, what am I supposed to sponsor you with?
Right.
Like, I don't produce shit.
Right. Yeah,
I don't do anything. And they were like passive aggressive about it too. I got like a couple of really mad messages like, you're so mean and everything. I'm like,
I'm definitely not sponsoring you now. You're
what am I supposed to do? Like, some people were actually like making screenshots of their conversations with me to say that I'm such a mean person and I need to suffer. And I'm like, what?
Okay. Yeah, no.
what am I supposed to do now? Like,
block them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm mean. Okay. But I'm not. I think I want to sum up, yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I think this is all we can tell you. It's going basically to a couple of things. Grow your social media, or be a great racing pilot, bring a lot of trophies in. Do a content that's different. Help other people, be a part of a community, so get noticed through this. And that's like 5 things that can get you a sponsorship, I think.
Yeah. I think that last one is a big one. Is that sponsorship is about your flying and your videos or your Instagram posts, but it's also about being a positive member of the community that makes the company look good and is helpful and supportive, and you can't say sponsor me and then I'm going to start supporting you. You're going to be like, hey, I really like your product, and they're going to look at your social media and they're going to be like, oh, this guy loves our product. And they're going to feel great about them bringing you on board. Exactly.
And you already made some really nice pictures that maybe reposted, because they do repost a lot.
Yeah.
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 That's it. And if you are willing to grow your social media, I'm actually releasing a free ebook. That's down below in the description box.
Nice.
Nice. It's 27 pages on growing on Instagram and YouTube. So if you will sign up for the newsletter there, you can also unsubscribe if you don't like it. You'll get a free ebook, 27 pages, all about growing your social media and being the best out of the best.
Nice. Yeah, your ebook is super interesting, because a lot of people think that you need a massive social media following to be able to monetize, and it's all about how you actually don't. I mean, you need a little bit, but you don't have to be 200,000 subs, 1 million subs.
No, I actually think I started getting some traction when I hit like 1,000.
I agree. Somewhere between.
It's somewhere between, yeah. So you don't need a lot of subscribers. You don't need a lot of views, really. You just need to be a part of a community, and you need to know what you are doing to be really interesting for the companies per se. So this is what this ebook is about, and it's for free for you in the description.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a media kit.
Have a media kit. And, also in description.
And don't be toxic.
And don't oversell yourself.
Don't oversell yourself.
Make your own product.
Yeah, that's tricky. Making your own products is tricky.
But you can go the same way as I did. I just wrote an ebook. This is my product.
Yeah.
It's something. Yes.
I don't have an ebook.
You should make one, like starting drums 101.
Yeah.
With tutorials, with pictures.
Do that with all my spare time.
Yeah, right.
It's tough because the stuff updates so fast.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd have to update it constantly. I don't know. It would drive me crazy. I had some like 3-page giveaway little mini ebooks that I was using on my newsletter, and then like two years later, I realized they were all out of date, and I just was like, forget it. So I just got rid of them. People can sign up for my newsletter, and there's no giveaway. I don't really. Yeah.
Oh, you write a newsletter?
I haven't. So
I'm not signed in. Oh my God, what is it?
I have an email newsletter. You can you can subscribe from my Facebook page. I can help you subscribe if you want.
Yes, please.
But I do have an email newsletter because way back when, there's a business model where you have an email funnel, right? And you funnel people towards and I thought I was going to be into that business model. So I have an email newsletter, and I do send emails to it, but I literally barely monetize it at all. But as people say, you need an email newsletter because what if? So, you own your newsletter, but you don't own your subscribers. And I'm like, okay.
I think email newsletter is actually nice because you can add like the things you missed. I make a monthly newsletter, so I do like new one will be for MaiOnHigh newsletter, and I just do like videos you might miss because YouTube algorithm, you never know. Sometimes people have this bell clicked and it's not working. So it's for this. So there's things you might have missed. Also my favorite stuff, also some random thoughts and hey guys, what I've been up to. Yeah. And I think it's kind of more personal, and it seems like people like to read my weird thoughts right in there.
Yeah, people like it. I mean, some people, all the kids these days don't use email any though. They all want to use the Snapchat or something.
I don't have.
I don't either.
We're old.
Even Instagram, I hear Instagram is on the way out. Now all the kids are using Snapchat. I don't know.
No, I'm not a Snapchat. Like, even in my ebook, I just missed Snapchat. I was like, I don't know.
I thought Snapchat was just for sharing nudes, but apparently not.
Yeah, the OnlyFans is for this.
My wife uses Snapchat to talk to her friends. And I'm like, you guys are She was like, oh, yeah, I'm Snapchatting with so-and-so. And I'm like, you're what now? She's like, no, it's just a messaging platform. And I can't decide if I'm being incredibly naive or if I'm just totally out of touch.
My brother at one point, he was like, I found a new messaging app that's like super secret and deletes your messages after like 30 minutes. And I'm like, why do you need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Why?
All right.
Yeah, but anyway.
All right.
It was really nice to talk to you.
Nice talking to you. Now everyone knows.
I hope you learned something too.
I did. No,
yes!
That was good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Oh, and also go to Joshua's channel if you haven't already. He already posted a video of us talking about going full time. So those videos should be released at the same time.
Yeah, we're gonna collab
we're
together.
Gonna kind of get it.
So now you could get sponsored, and then later, after your sponsorship is successful, you can go full time. Or if you're already sponsored and you're thinking about going full time, you can watch the other video.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. That was really fun.
Yay!